Welcome back to
The Gory Gays.
where we slash up and bleed out your favorite
And
and not so favorite horror films. I'm Stanley.
Alex.
That's Alex.
I'm
And
Alex.
yes. Hi, Alex.
Also in the film that
Yeah.
we're going to discuss.
Yeah, there's an Alex in this movie. And it's always funny when you watch a movie and the character has the same name as you, because I always end up doing this weird side turn. You know what I mean? Like I'll look to my right, and if you're not there, like there's nobody there. You know what I mean? And then
Mhm.
it's very strange.
Well, to
I don't
me,
know how to explain it.
I kind of I sigh and get this kind of puff my chest out, and the movie's now about me. Like every time they say Alex, I'm a little taller.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a movie that both you and I probably have a few deep relations to when the end of the day closes. There's a lot of deep rooted things.
Yeah, of course. We all grew up with four siblings.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's the bunch of siblings. There's the alcoholism. There's the crazy chaos that comes with having a bunch of sisters. There's all that mess. And
Sounds like a Monday night at the Gory Gays.
oh yeah. The last time we were here, we were talking about cabin fever. We are now moving into 6 weeks of holiday horror. And I had originally wanted to talk about a Thanksgiving film first. I thought Home for the Holidays was a Thanksgiving film, and I stand corrected. This is a Christmas film. So here we are talking about a Christmas film the week of Thanksgiving, and that's my fault. Here we are. Before we get into it, I guess we can talk about some of the movies that we watched before this week or before this film. One of them was Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. We watched that last night. We went and saw an 11 p.m. showing. It was really fucking good.
Yeah, I thought it was a really beautiful film.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was really well made.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best slashers I've seen in a really long time. I mean, right down to, I don't have any complaints.
No, honestly, just like a full Thanksgiving meal, it left me satisfied. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I stayed up the whole time. Like, I was surprised that we went out at 11 o'clock. It ended at around 1 o'clock, and we stood up the entire time. I didn't even fall asleep. Nor play anything.
And that's something that I took with me as well.
Yeah.
Because keeping my ass awake after being at work, and then I don't know, I'm a grandma these days.
Well, yeah, I was up at 4 a.m. for work as well, and being up all day long, and I kept messaging you, are we really gonna do it? Any little time that you messaged me for something, my back hurts, something, are we gonna go? Are you still up for it?
Yeah, and I
Any
didn't
excuse.
think I was gonna get out of work on time either, but I'm glad we made that a priority, because that was a lot of fun. And that's a movie you definitely want to see in theaters. It's kind of a departure from Eli Roth's normal stuff, because you have Cabin Fever like we did, or like we talked about last week rather, and that's one thing. And then you have Hostel, and that's another thing. And then you have that clock inside the walls, or that whatever the fuck it's called, and that's an entirely different thing. And then you have this is like a straight up throwback to the slasher films that we really loved and grew up with. It reminded me a lot of Scream. It had a lot of Scream elements. There's a lot of Halloween in there. I was just on my toes the whole time. I straight up had no idea who the killer was. The kills were really inventive, and the killer was really creepy. I was really invested in the entire story, and what originally was such a kind of dumb concept, because it was based off of that trailer that appeared at the beginning of those Grindhouse movies back from, I think, 2007. I mean, they really did something wonderful and fresh and exciting with it. So what else did we see?
I'm not sure. It's a Wonderful Life.
We might have mentioned that we were going to go see it, or that we wanted to go see it, but we also saw that. What did you think of it?
Another film that I just thought was really well made. Smart film, I believe. Really good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had never seen It's a Wonderful Life, and I know that that's like a really beloved Christmas film, and apparently this is an homage to that. But I went into this one blind. I didn't even watch a trailer. I was pretty blown away to have two really solid horror films come out just within days of each other and have them be so good. And this movie, the latter, It's a Wonderful Life, is super queer friendly in the sense of a lot of the characters are based on the queer community, and they are represented in a really real way, and they're not questioned within the movie's reality, and it's kind of nice. And I wish that movies like that existed. I think that we talked about it after we were
Yeah.
done watching it. And Justin Long is also really fucking good.
Yeah.
And I think we're so used to seeing Justin Long suck in movies, and he sucks in this, like as the character, he sucks. But it's so, it just, everybody watch these movies. Like these two movies specifically, especially right now, like they came out at exactly the right time.
Well, I just believe the filmmakers took like all the proper recipes to build a classic. Just kind of like you said, that it reminded you a lot of Scream. It's just those tones in a movie that are definitely just going to make these two movies a classic forever.
100%. We watched, there's two movies called The Dead Girl. Well, there's one called Dead Girl, and then there's one called The Dead Girl. The Dead Girl has Brittany Murphy. I watched that one, I think it was yesterday. But last week we watched Dead Girl from 2008, I think, the one with Shiloh Fernandez and Noah Segan. And that was a first time watch for, I think, both of us. And that was a really exhausting, I don't want to call it, it was exhausting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I recommend it because I don't know if I would ever revisit it. But so there was that. We watched the first two Silent Night, Deadly Night movies because I think we've already talked about that. We're going to be talking about part five during the 6 weeks of holiday horror. You had fun with those, right?
Yeah, I did.
Because you had never seen those.
No, and to watch them now is, yeah, I like them.
Yeah, those are the kind of movies when you watch now, they just have a different kind of impact.
Yeah, because it's like you show me these movies and then you keep staring at me like back and forth, like, wanting to see my reaction. But I'm watching these as an adult now, and my mind's not as vulnerable as when you were like a younger, younger audience.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm kind of looking at the movie now, like watching the actual movie.
Yeah, no, and it's different from an adult perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I grew up with all these. It's always good to watch somebody else's reaction when they're watching it for the first time.
Yeah. I'm the same exact way when I want somebody to watch a movie, I'm just staring at them instead of looking at the movie because I'm just wanting to see the reaction.
No, I think that's that's one of the big things I like about doing this is because most of the movies that we talk about you haven't seen, or on rare occasion, like with this movie, neither of us had seen. So I think that that's kind of what makes it fun.
We haven't seen the movie, but even from the opening with the whole Bidmark,
Yeah.
the beginning intro of it, we're so familiar with that, and ABC Family. So it felt like a film that we've already seen.
Yeah, and Vidmark is responsible for a lot of movies that came out in the mid 90s, like Leprechaun and Pinocchio's Revenge, and sometimes they come back, and The Dentist. A lot of those directed VHS horror films. Trimark, Vidmark, all those were essentially the same company, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this was an ABC movie of the week. That was a big thing in the early 70s. And the director of this particular movie directed a whole bunch of them. He was really one of the go-to guys for them. And he directed quite a few movies with titles like, oh God, City of the Dead, Circus of Fear, Horror Hotel, The Night Stalker, Nightmare. I mean, these are just a few amongst the titles. I don't necessarily want to get into it just yet because I feel like we have a little bit of catching up to do. I don't know. I know we just recorded last week, but I feel like with the change in dates, because I don't think we've talked about that yet, because we normally release our episodes on Thursdays, but with the new theme that we're doing with the holiday episodes, we're now going to be doing it on Mondays.
And we're trying to build a foundation here. So we're trying to find our spot or in our groove. So we're switching from Thursdays to Mondays to see.
Yeah. It's worth a shot. It's worth the play with. And we're early enough in this whole thing to where we have the wiggle room to do that kind of stuff. So bear with us. Oh, I'm so excited. I ordered the Elves vinyl. I didn't know that. Okay, so I mean, I have talked about this movie in the past on different platforms, but there's this really terrible film called Elves that came out in 1989. And I listened to this podcast called Bring Me the Axe. Go check them out. They're great. If I had not listened to them, I wouldn't know that Elves had a vinyl and a cassette tape. So I ordered the Elves vinyl, and I'm really looking forward to it. The movie's a piece of shit, but the soundtrack's actually pretty stellar. I can't pronounce the name of the guy who does the music, but I'm really looking forward to getting that. Did we talk about the Christmas tree?
Um, I don't think so.
Oh,
No, yeah, we did. We just did. We
did
talked
we?
about gender neutral.
I
No, we
can't. Oh
didn't.
no, no, we didn't. No, we definitely
We
did
did
not.
not.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Tell us about the Christmas tree, Alex.
No, right now our Christmas tree is just it's just stunning and green. It has no decor. It's just set up right now, but we are going to decorate it tonight after the podcast. Sorry, I'm looking at the tree right now as I'm looking away. That's why it sounds like I'm echoing. Yeah, we're going to dress up the tree tonight right after the podcast, and we're going to use classic type bulbs.
It's really beautiful. It's like 7 feet tall. This is probably the tallest Christmas tree I've ever had in my life.
It was pre-lit, and we got it at Target for $50 because they had 50% on sale on the trees. Pretty dope.
$50 fucking.
It's a pretty
And
good tree.
I just, I didn't have a tree last year. I had something like I don't even remember what it was. It was something that was ill resemblance of like a bush, perhaps. Things were much different last year. So this is really, really exciting. And I'm very happy to have this to marvel at. And to broadcast from underneath the Christmas tree is something really, really nice, I think.
Magical.
Yeah, magical is a good word. Oh, you were watching a movie the other night when I came home from work called Christmas Evil.
Best Christmas movie. All right. No, this movie was. I can't believe I was watching this as I was going to sleep, actually. And worst editing ever. I mean, it would just jump from scene to something else. I had no idea what was happening.
I had to tell you that it was Fiona Apple's dad
Uh huh.
that played the killer Santa Claus in that movie.
As the boy that grows up that was eavesdropping on his mom Christmas morning, and he grew up to be a killer just as Santa Claus.
It's something of the sort. I don't even remember the movie, to be honest. I know it's on Shudder. Free plug Shudder. Pay us Shudder. Did you watch the new Terrifier trailer?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Believe it or
really?
not. I've seen the posters. I have not seen the trailer yet.
He's dressed up as Santa.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
There's a whole lot of
I want a shirt.
Christmas just being thrown at us. We watched Blood Rage. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Oh my.
Yes.
And that's probably what we should have talked about. Had I realized that Home for the Holidays was a Christmas film, I think we would have chosen to do Blood Rage because Blood Rage is a Thanksgiving movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, Blood Rage.
There it is.
There it is.
On the name.
Just watch it. Just watch it. And what's funny is we watched this heavily edited version on YouTube because, I'm not going to pay $1.99 to rent this movie when there's a free version on YouTube. I didn't know that we were watching a pretty chopped version, all pun intended. And so afterward, we went and watched one of those kill count videos. And then that one showed you all of what we missed out on, basically. And yeah, worth watching either way, no matter how you watch it. The effects were awesome.
Yeah.
I finally got rid of all my DVD cases.
How did that feel?
It felt really relieving, and I guess I don't want to talk about it any further.
Okay, good for you.
And yeah, guys, I guess that's really it. I feel like I had so much more to catch up on with everybody, but this isn't a fucking therapy session. This is a podcast. So let's just get into this movie.
Okay, let's do it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get into Home for the Holidays. Home for the Holidays, right?
Yes, sir.
What I really like about Home for the Holidays is that this film came out 2 years before Black Christmas, and Black Christmas is considered a film that started like the slasher thing. You know what I mean? Like there's Psycho, there's Black Christmas, there's Halloween, and Halloween is also held on a really high pedestal to be the slasher grandfather, But Home for the Holidays is a little unknown gem. Like a lot of people don't know about this movie, but it's there. This movie definitely exists. It was produced by Aaron Spelling in the early 70s. And like we had mentioned earlier, it was an ABC movie of the week back when those were a thing. It has quite the cast. And Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I mean, I would actually recommend the movie, especially if you're into murder mysteries. It's kind of like a perfect movie to watch around, a group of family members during Thanksgiving. Even it's a great film.
Yeah,
Getting
it's
ready for the
got
holidays.
it's got that really, it's got an Agatha Christie vibe.
As
It's got
soon as it
like,
starts, yeah, it's like that farmhouse effect, like where it just feels like you're watching something classical. It kind of starts and it feels like a play.
Yeah, oh my God, I had that in my notes. It has like a Broadway production
Hmm.
vibe. I felt like I was watching Peter Pan on Broadway.
Or like those old shows that were like Carol Burnett shows, like something on TV that would just open like that with it just looks like a stage.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for like a stage light to fall down from one of the rafters or something like that.
Hmm. Or somebody to push the audience laughing button.
Yeah, one of the actors to call line,
Uh-huh.
something of the sort. That's so funny. I love that.
So, we should have done that in the beginning, anyways.
What?
When we were talking about the film, that we don't want to confuse it with the one directed by
Oh,
Jodie Foster.
yeah, that's so funny. So there are, well, we should point that out. So there are two movies. There might be more than two movies called Home for the Holidays. There is a famous song called Home for the Holidays. I sang it at a high school choir concert. Anyway, there is this movie, and then there's one directed by Jodie Foster from 1995 that has Holly Hunter and Robert Downey Jr. That's actually a really, really terrific film. If you guys get the time this Thanksgiving, give it a shot. It's so good. It's probably one of Holly Hunter's best movies. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, yes. So the film Home for the Holidays, directed by John Llewellyn Moxey, which I believe is Llewellyn. Right?
Let's
Run with that.
let's call it that because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Written by Joseph Stefano, starring Sally Field, Jessica Walter, Eleanor Parker, Julie Harris, Jill Hayworth, and Walter Brennan. Walter.
I love
Music.
that name.
Yeah.
We used to call marijuana Walter when I lived in Alaska. It
Nice.
was the code name.
Yes. Music by George Tipton.
Oh, hey, George Tipton was very famous for doing the Golden Girls main theme.
That's exactly what this movie sounds like.
The music is so good.
Although it's the same song throughout the whole film. It just goes from fast to slow and then faster.
You're not wrong.
Okay, the movie was released November 28th, 1972 on the ABC network as a movie of the week. Could you imagine sitting around the TV gathered around watching this as a movie of the week with your folks?
Well,
Drinking milk for supper?
and and that's all you get.
Yeah.
All you get is milk. And and back then you didn't have the ability to like DVR this. You couldn't watch this again. So it was a one and done.
Yeah.
You waited for this, you watched it, and it was over. You didn't know what you were getting. You might have got the advertisement during the week while you were watching your programs, with grandma and grandpa or whatever. I don't think people really knew what they were in for with Home for the Holidays.
It
And
probably broke up families if they were like, no, it was her. No, it was him. No, it was her. It was him, I'm telling you.
that's so funny.
I'll give you guys some numbers from Rotten Tomatoes, and there is no Rotten Tomatoes or critics.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't think there were any critics reviews.
That's crazy. Okay, it's
But
just that
there's an audience score, though.
there is an audience score of 37 and a letterbox score of 2.99 out of 5.
Yeah, I was reading a few reviews about this movie, and the reviews I did read were mostly positive, but yeah, I think that the negative reviews are probably focusing more so on the fact that it's a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah.
And those, even today, are pretty hard to sit through.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't really find any background, anything on this film. Did you happen to find anything else as far as like...
Not necessarily besides the basics that's already there that exist and anybody can Wikipedia or whatever. But what was I going to say?
I mean, I guess we can talk about, the cast. I mean, it has obviously Academy Award winner Sally Field, who plays the youngest daughter, Christine. We have Eleanor Parker. We have Jessica Walter, who was in Arrested Development, who was also in Play Misty for me. And I think Jessica Walter is probably one of the highlights of the movie for me.
Of course.
And then, well, I guess you had already told us all about the cast.
Yes.
But basically, what I'm trying to say is that the cast is like a very respected cast. Even at this time in 1972, all of these people were very established. Even Sally Field, having just coming off of The Flying Nun and Gidget, was pretty respected. And Eleanor Parker, she had been nominated for 3 Academy Awards in her life. And Jessica Walter too, like she had worked with Clint Eastwood and Julie Harris. All these people were very respected in both theater and in film. Every time the elevator goes off, I want to fucking light it on fire. So yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, it's got a running time of an hour and 15 minutes, and I only watched it a couple of times, but the first time it felt a lot longer. than an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got faster when
Yeah.
I watched it the more I
This
watched.
the second time it definitely felt a lot quicker. But there is a chase scene between Sally Field and maybe the killer. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't really decide either time. I timed it the second time and it was only 3 minutes, but the first time I watched it, it felt like fucking 20 years. So I guess we could just get into the plot. So why don't we just talk about Home for the Holidays? Home for the Holidays goes like this.
She is slowly poisoning me to death.
A bedridden man summons his 4 daughters home to save his life.
If for some evil reason I'm ever accused by anyone of killing, I will not be the one who wakes up screaming.
Sally Field, Walter Brennan, Jessica Walter,
He killed her!
Julie Harris, Eleanor Parker. Home for the Holidays, Saturday nights, Owl Theater at 11 on...
We open on a Christmas tree. Oh wait, I'm Alex. You're Stanley.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay, yeah, do it. Oh my God, I thought my voice was deceiving me.
You were the narrator from that movie we were watching earlier, The Therapist.
We're telling you guys, watch Blood Rage.
Yeah.
So we open on a Christmas tree. You guys, okay, we're gonna be real. There is an elevator that I mean, we've talked about it many times. It's
Yeah.
next to our head, like it's right next to the head.
No, we're in the elevator.
We are in the elevator. We're broadcasting
We're
from the
literally-
elevator. And basically what's going to happen is my ceiling is going to collapse because of water damage, I'm pretty sure. And I'm also going to find a way to destroy the elevator.
But we are going to give you all the gory details about this movie as all this is going on.
Alex knows that I'm about to explode right now. I'm about to fucking explode. Okay.
No.
We open on a Christmas tree with some music in the background. And by music, I mean music by George Tipton, composer of the Golden Girls theme. And this music is really, really fucking good.
It's good.
Choral, it's Christmassy. It really puts you in the mood. And this is when I really started to learn that this was not a Christmas film, as I thought originally it was a Thanksgiving movie. But what do you know? And this is in my notes immediately. I wrote live theater production feel to agree with you that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So-
As soon as it opens, I'm telling you, it feels like one of those production.
yeah. So Eleanor Parker plays Alex, and she's decorating the tree, and she is dressing herself as another woman, Julie Harris, who is playing a stepmother role, descends the stairway. It's very melodramatic right from the get-go. And Alex, we learn, is on her way to pick up her sisters from the airport. Her father, played by Walter Brennan, is fearful of his wife, and we will learn why later. So, like I said, the music is very beautiful. The setting is also very isolated. This is on a farmhouse setting. I think you had mentioned that earlier. This was filmed on the 20th Century Fox studio lot. Wait, no, I lied. This was filmed over in Malibu, and it was filmed over in Calabasas.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, like over off of Las Virgenes.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to say this right now. I have lived in California for off and on for 20 years at this point in my life. And I know you have lived here your whole life.
Mhm.
It does not rain ever like it does in this film over the
No.
course of the Christmas holiday.
I don't think nowhere besides one of those like plays that you would go to in elementary for your niece or nephew, and then there's just that little boy that forgets to push the off button on the lightning and thunder, and it just keeps going throughout the whole play.
Oh yeah, the sound guy was having a field day with the thunder and lightning. And I think I mentioned it in our urban legend episode how much I fucking hate it when thunder and lightning coincide at the same time. And this movie really, really goes ham on it.
Yeah, it's like they figured out how to turn it on, and then they just couldn't turn it off.
Oh, it's nuts. It's nuts. And it only contributes to the melodrama that is going to unfold nonstop for the next hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I did get some information on that supposedly this was supposed to be a snowfield movie, not rain.
A snowfield?
Yeah, like it was supposed to be full, like
filled.
yeah, like snow-filled
I
movie.
see. And I think that's why I thought that it was a Thanksgiving movie. I've always been familiar with the cover art with the yellow rain slicker and the pitchfork, and then if you flip it over, you see like Sally Field like wandering around in the rain or screaming in the rain or something. But if there were snow, I think that would make it more look like a Christmas movie.
Uh-huh.
So I think that I'm going to forgive myself for this little snafu
Yeah, mainly because they couldn't afford the snow, so they just put rain.
That's interesting because Aaron Spelling is very notorious for providing thousands upon thousands of dollars of fake snow at his Bel Air mansion for both of his children when they were growing up. Tori Spelling talked about it in her book, Storytelling.
And where do you think the money came from to get that snow? From this movie.
I don't know if this movie made any money. Oh God, I couldn't find anything about how much this movie cost, but I imagine it probably didn't cost a lot. Alex encounters Dr. Ted Lindsay, played by John Fink, not Joe Fink, which is what I originally wrote down, on her drive to the airport. We discover it's been 9 years since these sisters have been together last. The Morgan family are apparently the topic of gossip and have been over the years. The sisters are to arrive by 6:15. There's a huge storm on the way. There's a big title card that reveals the movie is written by Joseph Stefano, who also wrote what, Alex?
Psycho.
And we love Psycho. Psycho is Psycho.
Psycho's a footprint.
And there are some elements to Psycho throughout this film. So I think Joseph Stefano has, like you said, there's a certain imprint on this movie, and you can see Psycho kind of on it.
Mm-hmm.
Alex retrieves her sisters. There's Freddie, Joe, and Chris, none of which seem very happy to have been called back. Upon returning to their farmhouse, Alex reveals to the girls that their father is dying and that it's their stepmother who has been poisoning him. How is this revealed to them, Alex?
Through a note that I showed them.
Wait, what? That you showed them?
Yes, Alex. I'm Alex.
You're Alex? Okay. I like how I'm the one that is going back to acting class. And Alex is the one absorbing Eleanor Parker. This is Alex. Like The Haunting. Eleanor!
I am Todd. I am Todd.
Oh my God. Oh God, this is going to become the new, like, everything goes back to Pet Cemetery.
Oh, yes.
Everything is going to go back to Blood Rage. I understand why something ends up becoming a cult classic.
Yeah.
And Blood Rage is a prime example.
There's like seasonal cult classics.
And this is one.
Yeah.
This is one. You know what? I think we should watch Son-in-Law.
Okay.
As we're decorating the tree.
That sounds like a plan.
You've never seen it?
No.
Fuck me. So good. So good. Okay. Keep in mind, we are only 6 minutes in, and that's how fast this movie is moving.
Yeah, really.
So much has already happened. We have already picked up our sisters. We've already established the fact that they've been gone this long. We've established the fact that Dad's in fear of his life and that he thinks that his wife is poisoning him, etc., etc. So that's a lot in 6 minutes.
Everybody hates each other. Also, if you haven't gathered, did you see how strong these names are for the girls? Frederica, Josephine, or what?
I think it's Joanna or
Joanna.
something, but still, you're
but
right.
you know what it is? Because he always wanted boys.
Oh my God, that was a note that I added on my second watch because Frederica mentions that to Chris during their talk while she's giving her the coffee and stuff, and she says, maybe that's why he kept going with her behind Mother's back, because maybe she could have provided the boys that he always wanted.
Yeah, so they're talking about the new stepmother that's now in the house, how they were already having an affair while the mother was still alive. So the father was going to her to get boys out of her, but this woman couldn't produce kids.
And that never happened.
But she gets everything.
Okay, yeah. And there's like a whole thing happening with the will, but the girls are going to be put back in the will eventually. We're jumping though.
Yeah.
But yo, I'm going to flat out say right now that Freddie is relatable.
Very relatable.
Freddie is the drunk.
Yeah. Frederica.
And Freddie is played by Jessica Walter, and she is having
we love her.
Is having a ball.
And pills or alcohol.
I'm also going to make a side note right now that everybody has the thinnest, most beautiful eyebrows in this movie. Did you notice that whoever did their eyebrows literally almost took all of them?
These women are gorgeous, though.
Oh, they're so pretty. This is all of these actresses in their prime. And I mean, Sally Field is still a goddess. I mean, I love Sally Field and everything. But this is pre-Oscar wins, pre-Sybil, pre a lot. This is pre-fame Sally Field.
Yeah.
And she is still just giving it everything she has.
Yeah, this film was 72. Smokey and the Bandit was 77, and see how badass she was already.
Yeah. Also, the shot of the stepmother watching from the window is really, really good.
Iconic.
And so there's a bunch of rain. Sally Field looking really young. There's a lot to work with here. Freddie is clearly a drunk. Like I said, it's super fabulous. The girls do not want to see their father, but Alex insists. Alex is the mama bear of the group. She's the oldest. And we were talking earlier about this, how everybody has this like certain English elegance to them, except Sally Field, because she's clearly the one born in Pasadena. But all the other girls have this like British air about them.
Yeah, they're trying to match up each other, and you can hear it clearly. Like,
Yeah,
acting.
I feel like they all belong on like a board game of Clue.
Yeah.
You know, it was you with Miss Garlish in the billiard room. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All of these shots of the girls looking up at Elizabeth also are really good. The ones where like they're all at the bottom of the stairwell and she's up at the top and they're all just like staring up at her.
It's so cheesy and good, and I love it.
Yeah, and they're all just
It's the shot. It's the shot. It's the shot, and it's expected, and you know that the camera's gonna go that way. And here we go.
And they repeat the shot like two or three different times, but it's a different shot because they're all looking at her differently, but they do repeat the shot. It's really interesting.
It's just everybody's point of view of each other's faces and their expression as they're looking at this evil stepmom that's killing the dad slowly.
Yeah, it's like, what was the direction? It's so over the top and it's so weird, but I love every fucking moment.
Just hate her.
Yeah, so Elizabeth introduces herself and lets all of the girls know that she is very well aware of all of them and each of their histories, whether she's met them or not. She returns upstairs, and the girls finally go to see their father, but not before Freddie delivers more reasons to watch this movie. 2001, actually. According to Joe, Dad gave the mom 2001 reasons to kill herself. So there's just a little zinger for you. And I really just have to reiterate, Jessica Walter is so fucking good. And I don't know how I've missed this movie. I think Ryan Coe, bing, bing, bing. I think he had mentioned this to me years and years and years ago. I mean, maybe back when we were kids. I mean, obviously I never gave it a chance. I think he had randomly mentioned to me, like, Sally Field's in a horror movie, that there was a yellow raincoat involved. And I think this is when we were talking, or when we had been obsessed, when we were first obsessing over I Know What You Did Last Summer, because, you know, there's a raincoat involved in that.
Probably what you Googled back then, like raincoat movie.
I think so. And I think these have very similar covers.
Yeah.
Very similar costumes as far as the killers go as well.
Well, it's a raincoat and boots.
Same thing, just different colors. Alice, Sweet Alice as well. I don't think you've seen that.
No.
Oh God, that's a fucking different story.
So many movies.
I know, we have a lot of work to do, guys. Also, the Christmas tree that they have, I mean, I'll say it again, really, really pretty.
Which one? There's like 17 in that house.
The one in the main house.
Yeah, the first one going up the stairwell.
Yeah, so gorgeous. And you know, now that I look at ours, even without decorations,
it's gonna be even more gorgeous. You're gonna be surprised after.
So excited.
Enough of the tree. We'll show you guys on Instagram.
Yeah, we're excited. So Mr. Morgan explains to the girls that he believes his wife has slowly been poisoning him. You know, let's talk about the girls real quick. So Christine, Sally Field, is in her first year of grad school. Joe, wait, which one is Joe?
Joe is the one that has been married. She's beautiful.
Well, who plays Joe? Oh,
is...
Jill Hayworth.
Yeah.
Jill Hayworth. Yeah. She is the one who?
She's the one that, she's been married, or what is it? Oh, she said, I stopped counting husbands after your third, says the dad to her.
Oh, yeah, she's the slut.
She's the slut.
Yeah. Oh, God, this movie's full of so many good, like, zingers. And it's, you know, just a bunch of bitchy, queenie, middle-aged women, like, going at it. You know what I mean? Like, this is, like, a step below in the middle ground of, like, a Psycho Biddy picture. Like, it's, like, 10 years after whatever happened to Baby Jane.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's in the same ballpark. And
I think so, because this is the dad, and he's like literally breaking these girls down in front of us, and he's layering, like telling us all their shit.
Yeah, he reads them.
Yeah, he's reading them like right in front of each other, telling them, you know, like he says, Frederica, is it pills or alcohol?
Yeah, it's fucked up. And like you can tell that there's a lot of dysfunction going on here.
Yeah.
And we learned that the mom had killed herself 9 years ago, and that's why all these girls left. And it was Alex who kind of insisted that, I mean, this Alex, not you.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, it might get confusing because there's, you know, Alex, Eleanor Parker Alex, and then we have
Gory Gay Alex.
Gory Gay Alex. Alex had insisted that everybody leave him there with Elizabeth, and just move on. So there's a weird dynamic with everybody, and there's a lot of resentment, and there's a lot of just weirdness with all the sisters. Nobody has seen each other in these 9 years. They haven't seen each other at all. So it's not just that they haven't seen their father, they haven't seen each other.
Yeah,
But there's
and-
a lot of estrangement.
Yeah, there's a lot that happened between these sisters where disbelief and belief plays a role, and some of them are still mad and holding grudges.
Yeah, there's a lot of grudge.
Which I don't think the mom actually killed herself, but we'll get to that.
We will get to it. You're right. So we find out, it turns out Elizabeth may have murdered her first husband before Walter. It's more complex than we imagined. And then going back to like these zingy one-liners, our father would rather be murdered than laughed at. And even Walter gets like really good one-liners, like the righteous don't laugh, they cluck. And
Oh my gosh, he's funny. He's like, close the door. That woman can hear sunshine.
yeah. And even when he says like,
What do you want us to do? Kill her.
yeah, he sounds like Gypsy. Like
Yeah.
if Gypsy could talk, that's what Gypsy would sound like.
If Gypsy could say kill her.
Oh, they're so perfect. And I would have just really loved to be alive in the 70s and just be waiting for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like just waiting for a little made for TV movies with mom and little Benny. You know what I mean?
Exciting. Are you kidding me? The house smelling like pork chops and Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. I need to correct myself. I called him Walter. His character's name is Benjamin Morgan, but I'm calling him Walter Brennan, and that's his name.
Yeah.
His acting name is Walter Brennan.
Seems
Okay.
good.
So, yeah. It is the same thing. Acting. Mr. Morgan said, "Oh, you know what? I didn't say that I got my Cher Christmas album.
Yeah, you did.
No, I
Didn't you?
didn't. No, I said I got the Elves album. Like, that's more important.
Oh.
I want all of you to know that I got the Cher Christmas album, and it's great."
What did she do to us, Stanley? She fucked us up.
She did. She has a duet with Michael Bublé, and it's his song "Home," but they made it into a Christmas
It's a
song.
fucking Christmas song. The first line, this woman is a fucking animal. She made a fucking Christmas song out of this song that is not even a Christmas song.
You know, you ready for it? I'm gonna do it for you.
Go.
Another Christmas day.
Oh my god.
I'm gone away.
Oh.
Ever so long. Okay, I'm not. Nobody can do it. You know what I mean? Sure.
Share
Anyway.
life.
So yeah, all y'all go do it. I pre-ordered it a month ago when that shit got announced. So what are y'all doing if you're not listening to Share Christmas?
While decorating the tree.
Because that's what we're gonna do tonight.
Are
We are gonna put
do?
son-in-law on mute, and we're gonna listen to Share
Yes.
Christmas.
We're also gonna pop popcorn.
End tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Morgan suggests that his daughters kill his wife and listen to Cher. Motherfucker. It's that it's that simple. This is why he was scared earlier.
I wanna go home for the holidays.
The holidays.
Oh my god.
If I can turn back time.
This is perfect. Cher plays the perfect part in this.
I mean, if they remade it today, Cher could play Elizabeth Hall Morgan.
Oh. With all her reflections facing her.
Milk and honey. I was not in her room. Okay, so let's reiterate that Mr. Morgan really believes that this woman is trying to kill him. And Alex, the oldest sister, is aiding him in this belief. So she is really pushing this on him. I think that's really important that we should note that.
It starts getting juicy.
Yes. So the girls convene in the den. And so this house is huge, right? This farmhouse is fucking big.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like the biggest farmhouse ever. It's like a mansion on a farmland.
Yeah, inside of the house, and then when we see the outside of the house, to when we'll get there, where Sally Field's running outside of the property, is like, when are you gonna exit the actual property? Like everybody's watching through every window.
Oh, I know. And she's like, "Oh, I it's only a mile.
Yeah.
I know my way through this 100-acre wood."
Yeah, she ran the entire mile was
Bitch.
around that farmhouse.
You're in the Los Angeles forest.
Yeah.
Like you have been running around for. I mean, I timed it. It's 3 minutes, but this is the longest 3 minutes of life. And then it literally goes from daytime to midnight.
Yes, honey, you've been running from Malibu to Tuscanova.
Okay. And that's not an easy walk. I'm telling ya. So, as I was saying, the girls convene in the den. Freddie relieves herself, and Christine goes into the kitchen for coffee, where Elizabeth is fixing dinner and humming Silent Night. Any Christmas-themed horror movie, or any movie, I guess, that has a character humming Silent Night just creeps me the fuck out. Have you ever seen Mysterious Skin?
No, I have not, but this moment in the movie actually gives me all warm and fuzzy. I love somebody in the kitchen humming with a rainstorm, continuous rainstorm outside the window.
I think that this might be one of the best scenes in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
this is when Sally Field comes into and she's asking for coffee, right? For Federica?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that this has like a really kind of nice suspense, and there's like a really good close-up that the camera does when Elizabeth opens the stove and like pulls the turkey out to baste it.
Yeah.
And it
When
does,
she tells Sally Field to sit down.
yeah, and they're talking about like suicide, and they're talking about just her father and how Freddie blames their father, and they get into just discussions about how drinking too much, can drive you mad.
This is where we need to pay attention. We're getting the first clues.
Yeah, you get a little bit of exposition, really necessary exposition. And for a little movie like this that they're trying to cram a lot into a small amount of time, like this is a really well done, well crafted scene. And I think Joseph Stefano does really nice things with this. And I think the acting is really good here too. And again, there are little moments here where even as I was watching it the first time, I was like, come on, pull through, be a Thanksgiving movie, just be setting the tree up early. Prove me wrong.
Wanted it to.
Yeah. And dude, what a babe. Sally Field, when she's young, reminds me of my mom. I have these pictures of my mom when she's young, and they're a little comparable. It's adorable.
That's so hot.
Yeah, love
so
it.
hot.
Oh, my mom. Elizabeth says she overheard Mr. Morgan talking about how Freddie has never gotten over her mother's death. They get into that discussion about suicide, and she says that drinking is better than going a little too mad as she did. And we're going to get into a discussion later about how Elizabeth actually went to jail for the maybe or maybe not murder of her husband years ago.
Yeah, it was the system.
It was the system. The system really fucked her. I think that the red herring stuff is being thrown at us super hard for Elizabeth. This movie wants us to think that Elizabeth is poisoning him, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Someone running down the hall. Bug. Every time we choose to podcast, our entire complex turns into Hotel Cecil.
And we open the door and nobody's there.
Yeah. Oh, we need to talk about this real quick too. Okay, guys, you know what? Podcast is over. So earlier today, we are just in different spots in the apartment, and all of a sudden, I hear like the radio turn on.
We're getting ready to walk the dogs. I'm over here in the living room looking for a lighter. Stanley's over there grabbing his shoes, and we're both like in the middle, like kind of like away from the living room and away from the living area. I hear something, he hears something. We both think it's each other. Up until I ask, I was just like, what exactly was that? And then Stanley's like, you heard that too? And I was like, yeah. We don't know what it was, where it came from, but it was a static radio reception that came into the house, and I heard a voice come through it.
I thought that Alex had flipped on the record player, which is, if you turn it on immediately, it's set to the FM radio for Coast 103 FM, so we can listen to Karen Sharp give us the hottest holiday hits. I thought that he had flipped it on real quick, and it wasn't playing Christmas music. It was just playing an advertisement that was just like, like an audience cheering or some shit. So he flipped it off really quick, and it was that quick. I thought it was like on and off. And then at the same time, he thought that I had done something of the same, that I maybe turned on the television or like played something on my phone. But the whole point is, neither of us did anything.
Well, it was so clear, like it literally sounded like Alexa, the speaker, like, because Alexa sounds so clear throughout the house. Like it sounded like that, or the record player. Alexa, never mind.
Yeah. There she is. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was it. Like that. It was just the clear sounding. Like it sounded so clear inside of the room. It literally sounded like either Alexa playing or the record player, but it was not one of these apparatuses.
Oh, apparatus.
Apparatus.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, so that's like the third or fourth weird incident that we've had within the walls of this apartment. And y'all, I don't know.
Yeah, this was loud though. It was in here, like loud, like some reception came in here and it just sounded in here.
I think it might be time for another sage.
Yeah.
Okay, so Christine brings Freddie her coffee, and Freddie drunkenly tells her about what happened with the infidelity between their parents and Elizabeth when they were young. From an actor standpoint, it's a terrific monologue. Freddie tells Chris that their mother would have left a note if she killed herself, and that she thinks Elizabeth is responsible for her death, etc., etc. Now, the line that she gives, "I haven't been loved since the day she died." Ooh. Okay, they get into a lot of deep shit, dude. Like, maybe she would have, the sun stuff. Like,
Yeah.
this is where they talk about the sun stuff that we were just talking about. Like, and again, this is like she's chugging from a vodka bottle. This is stuff that's made for television. Like, anybody could have watched this back then.
This is an episode of Intervention 2023 now.
100%. And Jessica Walter is really selling the shit out of this. I just want to be clear on that.
Mhm.
Like, this is an ensemble piece through and through. Like, everybody gets a little bit to do here simultaneously. And it's all really good for the most part, I think. But Jessica Walter really, really fucking hams it up here.
Yeah, we're receiving vital information at this point.
Oh yeah, and the story is really moving along. We have to really get to the end pretty quickly to fill in that hour and 15 minutes slot time, And also keep in mind that there were commercials back in the day. So luckily, the one we watched didn't have commercials.
I wonder what these commercials were, though.
Oh my god, fucking aspirin and
Yeah.
soap.
Seriously. Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. The girls have Christmas Eve dinner with Elizabeth, only clarifying further that this is a Christmas film. With
No turkey yet?
no turkey. Oh, wait, I think they are eating turkey.
Maybe a
Is
ham.
maybe something. I think she pulls a turkey out of the oven.
Maybe her ex-husband.
When they question her about their father's condition, she says he's basically just getting old. She details that a doctor hasn't been around for a while, so there's no present condition name for what Mr. Morgan is going through, only throwing her under the bus even more. I don't think she's meaning to do that, though.
I don't think so either.
Joe attacks her with the maybe, maybe not story of the poisoning of her ex-husband, none of which Elizabeth necessarily discounts. In fact, she tells them about it. Now, Alex, what happened?
Well, she motherfucking gave him a hot toddy.
Yeah.
What did she put in it?
So this is where things get kind of confusing because she claims that she gave him a hot toddy. According to everybody else, it was a poisoned hot toddy. And Christine suggests, oh, maybe he did it to himself. Maybe he killed himself. And Elizabeth says something along the lines of, you are the first person that ever might have thought that, aside from me, her.
He drank the poppers.
Yeah. Oh no. Gory Gays. But like this resulted in her going to jail. She ended up going to jail for, a murder that she didn't commit. And this ended up driving her kind of crazy. And she spent time in a mental institution. And Julie Harris really sells this part too. Like I said, there's a lot of really good monologue pieces for all the women in this movie. And they all get their moment in the spotlight. Jesus.
Oh, you say cow, cow, cow 3 times.
Oh, I didn't know that. And when Julie Harris says, next time I will not be the one who wakes up screaming, and then it's followed by that crack of lightning, and then you get Freddie interrupting the dinner screaming herself from upstairs. Oh, it's so good. That whole moment is so good. And Julie Harris kind of reminds me of a younger Ruth Gordon from Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, yeah.
But Ruth Gordon is obviously like a little tiny old lady.
Yes.
Julie Harris has that more of a mellow Ruth Gordon thing going on, making everybody milk and honey and potentially killing them and throwing them out of windows.
He's in the kitchen again. Be careful.
Sacrificing them. So yeah, Freddie interrupts the dinner from upstairs. She has cut herself with glass and is rambling drunkenly about their dead mother. And we're getting a bunch of campy glee, and I'm dead over it. The Mommy Loves Me stuff is wonderful.
I'm sorry, how is this not a Thanksgiving film? This is exactly what happens during Thanksgiving.
I mean, these are my Thanksgiving dinners. Oh my gosh. This was last year's Thanksgiving.
Hey.
That's why I don't go home for Thanksgiving anymore.
No shit, home for the holidays. Nothing.
Fuck. I wonder if any of these women remembered this or had any fond memories of this after the fact. Do you think that Sally Field remembered making this movie? Or remembers making.
I'm pretty sure she does, because the scream that she hurtles out of her body in this movie probably fucked up her throat.
Oh, let's talk about her scream.
It's phenomenal.
And you guys, and I wonder if Sally Field just knew that this was going to be the only horror movie that she was going to be in, because when she is in a horror movie, at the end of the movie, she gives it to us. She gives us a blood-curdling, beautiful scream that rivals Jamie Lee Curtis's in Halloween. Dare I say it?
We get it twice.
Oh, we get it a couple of times. Yeah, it's something. It is something. And it's something so wonderful that I've even provided you a clip of it.
It's
And
fucking music to your ears, you guys.
here it is. Oh, it's so good.
Really good.
But I've always wondered about that because one time Ryan and I met Margot Kidder at one of the Monsterpalooza conventions, and she had made a movie called Sisters, I think it was. Ryan was torturing her about it, and she had no recollection of making this movie. Like Ryan was like asking her about it over and over again, like all these questions, and she had no idea what he was fucking talking about. So I wonder if I were ever to meet Sally Field and be like, "Hey, you remember Home for the Holidays?" If she'd be like, "Nope, no clue."
This is when people call things projects as opposed to movies, and then they just don't tell the actors that they were actually released.
Yeah, or like
sign here, sign here. No,
yeah, or if
none of your business.
maybe she didn't even know she was making a horror movie. She was like, "I'm making a mystery,
Yeah.
a mystery theater project."
Yeah, theater project production for ABC.
I love it. It seems like one of those movies that an actor of a certain caliber would just forget about. Freddy attempts to, I think, attack Elizabeth as she is dragged from the sewing room, which is apparently supposed to be locked at all times. So I'm assuming that this is where the mom killed herself. They don't really go into detail, but the way that they talk about the sewing room, like
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, it's supposed to be closed at all times." I imagine that's where mom did it.
Yeah, I'm assuming as well. I still don't think that it was her that she did it.
Yeah, and there's a portrait of the dead mother in there too. And there's blood splashed all over it now. And the dead mom looks a lot like Frederica.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And Frederica picks it up, the portrait, and she kind of like, I mean, the picture, and she kind of like puts it near her face, and she's like, "Look at her."
And she's so funny. Oh, why dead?
Yeah.
Why death? So beautiful, so young. And she's such a wackadoo, but you know what? We've all been there. I'm glad we're sober.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, we've been sober 120 days as of this recording.
This is amazing.
It's wild. That's 4 fucking months.
Frederica.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
Wait,
to you too.
to Frederica or...
Oh, she's the mess.
Joe has decided she's going to leave, although Alex doesn't want her to, but she doesn't care. And besides, the movie has been on for nearly 30 minutes and nobody has died yet. Also, important note here, Joe makes a suggestion that it was Alex that wanted everyone to jump ship those 9 years ago in the first place, and claims their mother was batty from the day Chris was born, and it's basically seeped into Freddy. She calls Alex an emotional prisoner. Now, emotional prisoner, I had to look up the definition because I thought that it was something that stood out, is someone who is unable to transition between moods or emotions and is therefore confined to a single emotional state.
We love it. I mean, this is, yeah. Oh, this is toxicity.
Yeah, they all kind of have like this reliance, it seems like, on Alex.
And you know what? You said 30 minutes into the movie, but 2 people had already died. The mom and the ex-husband. Those people died, Stanley.
I'm gonna give that to you. But I do wanna say that though, because Joe had mentioned during the Christmas dinner that they do count on Alex quite often. And when they need emotional stability, they end up turning to Alex for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to point out. And I also kind of dig Joe for being tall enough to dip out. Like she's like, "Okay, bye, I'm done. I don't want to be here for any of this. I don't give a fuck what dad thinks. I don't give a fuck what any of you think. I'm leaving." But she doesn't really get very far.
It's funny that they gave her that name, Alex.
Alexandra.
Guardian of people.
Oh my God. How funny.
Right?
Yes.
Guardian of the people. And that's what the meaning of Alex is, or Alejandro, or Alexander.
Yeah. And that is funny because she like has kind of coined herself as the guardian of all of these girls.
And we'll get there.
So Joe tells Alex that she feels that there is something off about the entire situation, that they've been tricked into coming back. She decides to leave anyway against Alex's wishes. I don't think I pointed out earlier that there was a letter that Alex had received, and that's why all the girls have been called back. I think that's something very, very big that I left out.
It's said to come home because he feels like the new wife is killing him, and yeah.
Yeah, so I did mention that obviously that the dad feels the wife is poisoning him, but that's why the girls have been called back, because Alex had received a note from the father saying that the wife was poisoning him. So that's why this is all happening in the first place.
Yeah, so dad wants the girls to come back so they can kill her.
Yeah. Joe leaves anyway, against Alex's wishes, or decides to anyway. Hey, random question. Out of the girls, Which one would you be?
I would be. Oh my gosh, shit. Probably Chris because she leaves. She got the fuck out.
Well, they all did.
Did she? Did they?
I think everybody left.
Well, Frederica. No, but I'm talking at the end, like in the actual movie, like Frederica dies.
Oh, spoiler. Oh,
Oh well.
by
Yeah,
the way,
that's what we
guys,
do.
we are going to spoil this movie now that we're halfway done. Bummer. So you would be Chris.
Yeah. She gets
Okay.
the fuck out.
Yeah, I think that.
Why am I gonna stay for this?
Well, no, Joe is the one that is leaving right now.
It is
that
Joe.
what you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
He's
I was gonna
asked
say,
Alex for the car, right?
yeah, because Chris is the one aiding Freddie right now. Okay, so you would be Joe.
I would
who's
be
like,
Joe.
bye, guys. I think I would probably be Chris because I think that I would be concerned about everybody and I would want to help.
Oh gosh.
I know, but also maybe that would be me just being the baby because I'm the baby, you know? Like I would
Yeah.
just want to make sure everybody's okay.
She has less knowledge of everything, and she just wants to be there.
Yeah, the less you know, the better, you know, but also it's dangerous because you just want to help.
Well, yeah, because necessarily she was too young.
Yeah.
She left the house young because she was at school.
Yeah. So Joe says goodbye to her sisters. Freddie is a drunk catatonic zombie, though. Joe begs Chris to leave with her, but Chris declines. Poor baby, don't you be the one that wakes up screaming, he says to her. With the rain and the atmosphere and the dialogue, a lot of this is pretty eerie and chilly, right?
And that is a threat, yes.
Yeah, it's definitely a fucking threat. Joe leaves and goes to the car that is parked in the barn. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we have our first kill. What happens, Alex?
Well, we see a stranger in a yellow slicker wielding a pitchfork stabs Joe from behind and drags her body through the rain and mud off screen.
I'm sad that we don't get a scream from her, and there is also no blood, but it's fine.
Hey.
It's okay. I mean, it's the early 70s. It's made for TV. I'm sure it worked back then.
Yeah, and it's raining a storm, so the blood would have been...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got like that Texas Chainsaw thing, which also wasn't even out yet. Be aware of that. This movie came out before the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It is a very early horror movie. And there is a couple of like little stab wound marks on her back, I guess, but not enough to write home about. Okay, so we go to the next morning. The rainstorm has made its way into the next day as well. Elizabeth watches from the upstairs window as Ted goes up the driveway. He goes inside and talks with Chris, wishing her a Merry Christmas and giving her a gift in a necklace. Oh, it's Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most loneliest Christmas.
That's so sad.
Yeah, because she's the only one home. I mean, it looks like she's the only one home. But also nobody likes each other in this house.
Yeah, really. Everybody's killing each other, so.
Yeah, but the fire looks really nice.
Don't drink the tea.
Don't drink this tea.
The hot toddies. She's like, hot toddies, anybody? Gross.
Not a fan.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of whiskey, period.
Yeah, no, I don't like darker liquor. If I were to drink it, I was a clear liquor guy. We learn Chris had a big crush on Ted when she was 16. And again, we're reminded that Sally Field was just 26 years old when she made this, and she looks like she's barely 19. And then again, we're reminded that Sally Field is like 77 years old and has been in 1,000 movies and has 2 Oscars and a zillion nominations. And do you have a favorite Sally Field movie?
I would say Gidget.
Oh, that's a television show.
Oh, movie then Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Is that a Burt Reynolds?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
The car.
Is it about like a car that's
Trans
alive?
Am? No.
Oh. Oh, that's Herbie.
Yeah.
Herbie.
Watch the Jessica Simpson version. No, don't watch it.
Smokey and the Bandit?
Uh-huh.
You mean Dukes of Hazzard?
Dukes of Hazzards. Yeah, you're right.
Which is not Smokey and the Bandit.
Not Wicked. Got it.
So we talk about horror movies. But I think my favorite Sally Field movie would probably be, I think Steel Magnolia. And I really like this scene, by the way. I think it's cute. I don't think we need it because I don't think Ted is like an important character. Whatever, it's cute. So Ted says that he's not supposed to be there, per Mr. Morgan. Chris asks for Ted's opinion on her father's condition, and just then, Elizabeth comes out of the room and ascends the staircase, saying that Mr. Morgan's asleep. Chris tells about the letter, and that's when we get a true psycho moment. We find out that it was actually Elizabeth that asked for Ted to come by a month or so ago to convince Mr. Morgan that she wasn't trying to kill him. Ted leaves. Elizabeth watches from upstairs again. So is Elizabeth clever or is she innocent?
She's totally innocent.
I think that she is innocent. And to be truthful, I never thought that she was the killer to begin with.
No, I didn't think so either.
I thought that they were trying to throw us for a loop. And
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, I kind of thought that it could have been Sally Field.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, like my weird ruined movie mind, like,
Here comes angry Sally Field from school to kill her entire family because she has no idea who she is.
why not?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes.
Put a turkey in this movie.
I love it. But there's lots of little clues to the killer thing. So you get the gloves, you get the slicker that Ted is wearing as well, even though the slicker's a different color, but like they're trying to throw you different ideas of who the killer can be. It's a little tiring.
Yeah.
The insane close up of Walter Brennan when Alex leaves the room in the next scene is hilarious. Just a little mention. I laughed out loud. So Chris and Alex have a small discussion about how Alex might ask Elizabeth to vacate the premises. She says the storm is getting on her nerves. She goes to bed. Chris tries the phone and realizes that it's dead. She goes into the kitchen to find Elizabeth making milk and honey, who says she had made some for Mr. Morgan, but Alex would not let him drink it. She offers her some, but Chris declines. I think that this would be a really good companion piece to Whoever Slew Auntie Roo. Did we ever finish that? Did you finish that the other night when we had
I
started
don't
it?
think so. And also that storm is getting on my fucking nerves. And I want to try some milk and honey myself.
Have you ever had milk and honey?
Never.
Oh my god, warm milk and honey is
I
delicious.
had no idea that was.
Do we have honey?
Yes, we do.
We have milk.
Okay.
We should have some warm milk and honey.
Let's do it. While we're watching fucking. What are we going to watch and what are we going to listen to while we're listening to share? We're not watching.
One of the 15 movies we're gonna watch tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, Whoever Slew Auntie Roo like has the same vibe, same musical pieces. Like I feel like the same house. It's not, but it's very similar. Very very British. Elizabeth goes upstairs. As she does, Mr. Morgan watches her through a crack in the door. In her bedroom, Freddie continues to drink, and Elizabeth enters with a cup of warm milk and honey. Cut to Freddie in the bathtub with her vodka, all tired and sleepy, and we see a gloved hand drown her. I must say, when I watched this for the first time, that I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't see the glove take her foot and move her. And when I say gloves, let's be clear that these are dish gloves.
Yeah, they are. That's why they're trying to throw us off that it could be her because she's always spending time in the kitchen.
Oh,
Elizabeth.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. Because she's coming up the stairs with the stupid hot milk and honey.
Was she wearing dish gloves?
No, but she could have grabbed them. She could have just had him in a robe.
That's so funny. Spoiler, you guys, Elizabeth is not the killer.
And as she's going up the stairs, this whole scene's just eerie with the lightning outside the window, you know, and it's just dark, and she's just walking up with her little cup of milk.
I 100% agree with you. 100% agree that part is creepy. And then even when she enters the room, and then Freddie is just like sitting there all drunk, and it's like she's going to finally embrace this woman for a brief moment. You think that there's going to be something good that might come out of this, and then she fucking dies.
She fucking loves her like a pebble in a shoe.
I guess. Chris finds Freddie's drowned corpse the next morning, making this body number 2. Of course, all fingers point to Elizabeth, because of course. Elizabeth tells Mr. Morgan that Freddie killed herself. Alex overhears. Mr. Morgan accuses her, as does Alex, but Elizabeth clarifies that she drank the milk and honey herself.
Yes, and we do get music by Sally Field, that beautiful scream of hers.
Oh, you guys. Oh my god, we do get more than 2 screams then. Because the scream that she gives when she finds Freddie's body is glorious. So, yeah, Alex investigates further, saying Elizabeth had to have done it because there was no milk and honey mug next to Elizabeth's nightstand, as Elizabeth said there was, and there was also no sleeping pills next to Freddie's corpse, as she claims there was.
Also, why do we believe Alex just because she walked into the room and then she comes out of the room and she says there's nothing there? And how do we know that there was not nothing there, Alex?
I mean, we're just supposed to believe Alex because she is the one orchestrating all of this, right?
Yeah,
she's the one who called all the sisters back. She's the one who is puppeteering all of this.
Well, I don't believe it until Elizabeth's look confirms it. And then she just gives this face like, God damn, I just got caught.
Yeah. So this is the part where we really are to start second guessing ourselves, right? I mean, that's what I'm starting to get.
Field. It's not Frederica. She's gone.
But also at this part, I started to grow a little suspicious of Alex. She started to do these weird eyebrow things. And upon my second viewing, I started noticing things throughout the movie that kind of started pointing fingers, not even at Alex, but at other people, but more so at Alex.
Not only that, she started standing at the top of the staircase looking down at everybody now.
Kind of like what Elizabeth was
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
So like what we were supposed to be seeing Elizabeth as a villain.
It's the villainess step up there, you know,
like she was taking that stepmother role, which was very interesting. And there was a look of sadness in Elizabeth's eyes, like as the movie progressed, that started to get to me. But it also could have just been like a manipulation tactic as Elizabeth the killer, if that was the route that the movie was taking. You know what I mean?
It's the look of surrender that she gives. Like, nobody will ever believe her. This is her life will always be this. She did it. She did it. She did it.
Yeah, poor me type of thing.
The victim.
Alex tells Chris that Elizabeth is not to be trusted. Chris offers to walk the mile to a neighbor's house to use a phone, through the woods and the storm, in order to get help. As we pan away from them, we notice the yellow slicker and the boots worn by the killer hanging on the wall. For the next 10 minutes, we watch Sally Field run through the woods. So, okay, it's not 10 minutes, it's 3.5.
It really is the entire film.
But the music is good.
And she hasn't left the property yet.
No, and this is the biggest Lost Virginist property you've ever seen in your life. It's massive.
It just intrigued me how the stepmother is just watching her from the window, and it's like, it's been 10 minutes since she left the front door, and the mom's still looking at her from the window in the property. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, and somehow this is a chase scene. So we do get the killer chasing Sally Field in this running through the woods segment.
It's good. So this is Sally Field runs out of the house. And then they show us the mom looking out the window, or is it before they show us the actual raincoat and the boots hanging there?
I think that Sally Field has already left the house.
They're giving us the idea that they're going to chase her.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I really could have had the whole running thing cut in half and I would have been fine.
Yeah. Or scream the entire time, girl.
Yeah, they just wanted to really elaborate on the fact, or they wanted to nail in the fact that this is a very, very expansive property.
Yeah.
And that the storm is making everything very dangerous, and that the roads are washed out, and that there is no help.
Yeah. Maybe it was because they couldn't move the water, or, you know, the water effects around the entire property. So they were just using the same area. She was just running around
That's
like
very possible.
Maybe.
I would not even be surprised.
Yeah. They're like, just run this way, run that way again, run this way again.
I mean, either way, I love that there's a horror movie that exists where Sally Field is being chased by a fucking murderer in a yellow slicker.
And it's not Miss Doubtfire.
And it's not Mrs. Doubtfire. Again, it's all about perspective. That could be a horror movie for a traumatized parent.
Yeah, exactly.
So back at home, Alex tends to Mr. Morgan, who sleeps through the storm. Alex watches out the window and sees Elizabeth wearing the slicker and carrying the pitchfork. Dun, dun, dun. She dons a raincoat and goes outside too. Why? Who knows? But it's a horror movie, so... Sally has made it back home, I guess. But, I mean, I don't know. Where is she?
I know. Where did she go? A mile.
Oh, wait. No, she is home.
Yeah, she comes back home.
Because she has tripped and fallen on the buried body of who?
Joe. She had left. Yeah, the one that had left and borrowed Alex's tart to get the fuck out of there.
Exactly. And once again, we get that magical scream.
That's who I want to be.
Yeah, I want to be Sally Field's scream.
Oh my God.
Elizabeth is here, adorned in the yellow slicker, and running after her, trying to get Chris to come with her. Chris runs away, screaming for Alex, and she goes back into the house. Elizabeth sneaks inside through the cellar doors, and
but now you can tell Sally Field's throat is fucked up the way she's yelling Alex.
I kept wanting her to go, Daniel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Daniel.
Yes.
Because the way she screams Alex is very signature.
It's very Daniel.
It's very signature Sally Field voice.
It has like that rasp almost like in the back.
Yeah. She hides herself in a closet and waits it out for a few minutes. And I love it. I mean, if you throw a Michael Myers mask on this woman, you have the last third of Halloween, years before it was even written. It's amazing. So Elizabeth is in the main part of the house now, looking for Christine. She's trying to coax her out of hiding, saying she's safe, she can come out. And this is the first time in the film that I really got the idea that this house is bigger than it looks.
Yeah. Oh.
Elizabeth goes outside to continue looking, and Chris comes out of hiding. And I'm not going to lie, this last portion is kind of draggy, and I feel like they could have just made this an hour special and cut 10 minutes out of it. Some of that being that annoying running segment.
Yeah, really. And the property is gorgeous. We get it. It's huge.
Calabasas. Chris goes to her father's room to discover Elizabeth in there with him, who tells her that he is actually dead. She flees, Back out into the rain and into the woods, Alex eventually finds her via car, and as Chris explains to her what's happening, we come to find out that Alex is in fact the killer. And her motive is this. What is it?
She simply wants to be free. She's tired of being needed by her sisters. So if she kills them all, then she no longer has to do that shit for anybody.
Oh yeah, no one will ever need her again.
Never. And then she's gonna feel like nobody needs her, so then she's gonna find another motive to kill.
Yeah, preach, bitch. It sounds like menopause.
Yeah, really.
I probably can't say that. That's
just give it a couple of months.
I know.
Well, actually, men go through that shit too, so you can.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you making that up?
No, I'm serious.
Should I even bother
Look
Googling
for men menopause, and it'll be the same exact shit. Well, we just don't, go through what they go through.
Guys, I'm not even gonna Google it. I'm just gonna let him run with this. And if he's wrong, someone correct us.
I'm a 42-year-old man, I'm sure.
Manopause. I like that.
I put my man on pause because I'm going through shit.
Oh shit. I feel like you're kidding. Are you kidding? No.
I hope I am not. Maybe. Let me Google it right now.
Okay, I'm gonna go on as Alex. This is okay.
Put this man on pause real quick so I can.
Yeah,
Google.
Alex is on pause as I continue with the plot. We're almost done here. Alex hits Chris over the head and pushes her ass down a hill. Ted appears on the road. I keep forgetting that Ted's even in the movie. Okay.
Sorry, let me come back. I just want to read this to you.
Yeah.
But yes. Oh, some men develop depression, loss of sex drive, erectile dysfunction, and other physical and emotional symptoms when they reach their late 40s to early 50s. And this is the male menopause.
Wait, why are we talking about this?
Menopause.
Why? Where did this come from?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I love it. It's always when there's like a 3 minutes left of like the end of this, and then we go on these weird tangents.
10 more minutes of Sally Field running around.
Oh my god! Well, that's literally where we're at. Oh no, because at this point she's been hit over the head and pushed down a fucking hill
by her sister.
Because yeah, that's right, guys.
The oldest one. Yeah, the oldest one pushes the youngest one down the hill.
Yeah, this is like, who's your oldest sister?
Adriana.
So this is like Adriana pushing Lupe down the hill.
Adriana and Lupe is the same person, but
really? Oh,
yeah. My sister Lupe Adriana
is the oldest,
and then my sister Patricia is the youngest.
It's like Lupe pushing the youngest down the hill. Yeah, this is like my sister Crystal pushing me down a hill.
There you go.
Be like, fuck you.
Say hi to my sister, babe.
And don't forget to write.
Don't forget to write.
So Ted appears on the road, and Alex pulls the Jill and Scream 4 card and says that Elizabeth is the killer, and there was a scuffle, and they have to find Chris, etc., etc. Ted offers to look for Chris, and, Alex is well before her time.
Yeah. It really is.
Honestly, I love how so many movies took from this, particularly Scream 4. Like, this last part is like a much more tamed version of the ending of Scream 4, right?
Such a manipulative bitch. Like the way she talks to Chris when she's like, "You're just a baby. You think nothing changes. you don't think anything changes." Like,
oh, she did say that. Yeah,
she's like very condescending.
She's a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
but she's also Jill Roberts. She's Emma Roberts.
Oh, she's great.
She is. I love it. And her face when she thinks that she's getting away with this.
She's beautiful, though. So,
like,
yeah, her face.
She is. Eleanor Parker is really gorgeous. It's those old-timey actresses. Mm-hmm. Like, the late 60s and early 70s they were just such a different time for movies and television. And anyway, Alex is taken back to the farmhouse by Sheriff Nolan, played by Med Flory. When they go inside, Elizabeth is waiting. The half smirk that Alex gives her as she goes upstairs to show the police Freddy's body is everything, because again, she thinks that she's gotten away with murder, Ted arrives and tells Alex he found Chris. Alex goes to view her body, assuming that Chris is dead. She cries over her body, but sees that Chris is actually awake and starts screaming at the top of her lungs and then laughing maniacally. This is the Norman Bates moment. Mm-hmm. It's really, really fucking good. And the way that Eleanor Parker delivers this is out fucking standing, and it's such a good moment. Love it.
You guys, Sally Field didn't even fucking do the work. She was just in bed. She just turned her head.
All she had to do was just open her eyes.
That's it.
And Eleanor Parker does everything else for us. It's so phenomenal. For a little tiny made-for-TV movie in 1972 to premiere over Thanksgiving weekend, like, come on. This is, like, everything you need. So Alex is taken away by the police, smiling at the farmhouse as she is driven away. Sally Field cries from the upstairs window, a Tipton melody sending us off into the Christmas morning, or I guess the day after Christmas morning. But we're not done yet. Elizabeth escorts Chris downstairs to Ted. They hug. It's sweet. We get the opening theme as the closing theme because it's the only theme. Ted and Chris leave together. Elizabeth watches them go. And I want to know if Chris ever returned, what became of Elizabeth.
And it finally stopped motherfucking raining.
Oh my God. You know what? The storm let up. But that's the kind of movie that this is. The storm starts when everybody starts dying, and then when the killer's dead, or I guess the killer doesn't die. When the killer is caught and peace is restored, the storm has lifted. It's very symbolic.
It's just a way of keeping them in the house. Like, you can't leave because there's a storm out and no phones are working and everything sucks. So you have to deal with death, and we're gonna kill you.
Stand corrected, because Sally Field defies gravity and leaves.
She didn't realize that she ran an entire circle around that property and never really got nowhere.
The director was like, go again. Go again.
Just keep running in the rain.
And then she went back home every single day after work and was like, I'm not going back.
I ain't coming home.
I ain't going back. So yeah, guys, that is Home for the Holidays. That is our first of 6 holiday-related films. What did you think of Home for the Holidays, Alex?
I loved it. It gave me the warm and fuzzies all around, from beginning to end. And as soon as it starts, I already know that I'm going to get something good out of it.
I felt very similar. Like I said, it had some draggy moments near the end, but it wrapped up very nicely. And I'm just happy that we took some time to watch something for the first time. I think a lot of these little gems deserve attention. And I'm just happy we took the time to do it.
Yeah.
I recommend this one. I think that it's worth the hour and 15 minutes, especially with the upcoming holiday, especially with Thanksgiving right around the corner, with Christmas coming up. I think that any Sally Field fan will really dig this. There's little to no violence, but it's got a really good story. It's got some fun bitchiness with the lead girls, and it's got some fun, clever writing.
Honestly.
It's fast-paced.
It's a really good film, and I really liked it, and I would get a headache just trying to think of a recast, but I would ultimately like it if they remade it and they would put Sally Field as Elizabeth.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, and that's a good idea, because
It's a great idea.
Black Christmas 2006 did that with Andrea Martin. They took her from the original. Who the fuck is Honky?
Pizza's here. But also make her a bitch, like this dark stepmother bitch that she really killed the fucking ex-husband.
That would be really bomb if they did something like that. But who would play the sisters?
I don't want to go through that. That's a headache, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be a lot of fun. I
Give
would
me
love
one.
to see
Who would play Chris?
Mandy Moore. Mandy Moore could do it.
It's done.
No, Mandy Moore could do it, because I'm looking at the Mandy Moore Christmas album that's on our wall right now. You guys listen to Mandy Moore's How Could This Be Christmas?
I'm looking over here at my girl Nev Campbell. Where would we put her? Who would
Nev Campbell could be Alex.
Yeah?
Fuck it.
No.
Fuck
We
it.
need a strong redhead type. What's her name from? Alicia Witt.
I never want to see Alicia Witt's face again.
She would be good as Jo because she gets killed.
No. That's funny. Yeah, no, that's a headache. I don't want to talk about this either.
I'm telling you. Just Sally Field as Elizabeth is good enough, and then you guys can think of the rest.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, let us know, you guys. Let us know if you ever have seen this movie, actually. Let us know what you thought. If you haven't seen it, watch it and let us know what you think. Because like we said, it's worth checking out for sure. Don't forget to reach out to us if you have any comments or suggestions. You can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at the Gory Gays. You can email us at thegorygays@gmail.com. We will more than definitely respond to you if you do reach out. Do you have anything to add, Alex, before we get into next week's episode?
No, I just want to wish all of our friends a happy Thanksgiving, and that there will be no leftovers.
Oh my God, of course, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us to you.
Keep it gory.
And next week, we are going to be continuing the 6 weeks of holiday horror. And we are going to be talking about what, Alex?
Elves.
From 1989.
Mm-hmm. Not to be confused with Elf either.
And not to be confused with any other film in the world, because there is nothing like this movie. Elves is available in full on YouTube, so I suggest watching it before we break it down for you next week. And we'll leave it at that. So thanks again for listening, you guys. We look forward to returning next week, and that's that.
Wow, for a movie with no background info.
I feel like we talked a lot.
Yeah, really.
All right, guys. Love you.
Bye, guys. Keep it gory.
Bye. Bye, Gory Gay.
Bye.
See ya.